everyone. This is Laura here.
And this is Xavier. Sorry,
Xavier?
No, stuttered. This is...
You have now joined the Incoming Podcast Show. Let me introduce our host, Laura and Xavier.
Hello, everyone. This is Laura here.
This is Xavier. Goodness. Why'd you do that?
It hurt.
Okay, so no more takes. So we're gonna roll with it because you got mad the last one. So we're back after kind of 2 week sessions. The second week was actually an accident. Just want to give everybody a quick date up to date on that.
We did a podcast.
Yes, we did. And the computer decided to eat the podcast. This totally destroyed
Yum,
the...
yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, so it's...
And we were like, no.
We were thinking like, okay, we should run and do a podcast, but it's been a very busy week. So we normally, last year when we was doing podcasts, we would have done a full podcast on this topic, but we're not going to do one. Not now, but I will let you guys know. One of the things we were really busy with was, putting an offer on a home.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about it because we don't know if you got it yet or out of that situation though. So keep your prayers, your fingers crossed, toes crossed, or paws crossed for some of you not weirdos at all. Just want to keep you included into this. That wasn't offensive, right? I can try harder to make it offensive.
So you're fine.
Anyway, so what we want to talk about, of course, if you saw the topic or you just want to see what's the next thing that these guys are going to be talking about today, was fitness apps. This
or just health apps in general.
Yeah, eating healthier, that's part of health.
Yep.
Maybe just getting more active in your life is just all you want to do. Just, you're tired of just doing
And we're not going to talk about all of them, but we'll talk about ones we've used and which ones work for us or haven't worked for us or whatever.
Getting our perspective.
Yeah.
And this may be an odd time of year because most people always wait till the spring, but that's not the it couple way. This is the time people are getting ready to get in their costumes and get ready to be something out there to do something cool.
For me, I just have to prepare for all the holiday time. Because I know that I'm going to eat more than I should.
Yeah. And actually, this is probably like one of the better ways to really put that out there. This is a great time to talk about a fitness app or getting into it because, everybody's thinking like holidays, and, putting the fitness in the back burner. Then you start back in spring and start working out. And then all of a sudden, okay, you're trying to burn off those pounds. But how about this? We have it twice a year, one for spring and one right before Halloween, just so you can get back into gear. Plus, you may have that chance to get into that sexy cat girl outfit, for those guys who love dressing like cats.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there. Okay, so let's get right into this. Starting with your perspective, because between both of us, Laura has been just the champion of using an app and following its procedures far more successful than I have. Tell me one of your probably least favorite apps that you've tried before.
Oh, geez.
Oh, no, it's a big one.
That's hard. Because I've tried a lot of different ones, and
Any names stick out?
I remember not liking Noom, and it's a big one, and people really like it, but I didn't. Like, I don't know what it was about it, but I never could quite get it. MyFitnessPal was a little bit better for me, but still not great. And it's been years since I've used either of them, so maybe they've updated them. I don't know.
Well, it seems like you know a little bit more about FitnessPal. Tell me, what was it about FitnessPal that maybe then get you on board?
It's just I couldn't stay consistent with it. Figuring out where I needed to put my info, figuring out even just like points and calories, and it just like, I don't know, it just was rough. And again, maybe it's because they didn't have all the stuff and phones that they have access to now and what they can do. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's there's a lot more restaurants that are probably inputted into it and stuff now, where when I was using it, it didn't have that. Like, you had to go search manually or enter it manually. And I mean, anybody who's ever gone to a restaurant and tried to find their nutrition info on it it's a pain for most part. So I would usually not do it, and then I'd stop following it, and then there we go. That was the end of it.
All right. Well, doing the switch over, what would you ask me on this application situation here?
Okay, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the apps you've used are not health in general. So
Yeah, that's true.
What fitness app do you
You know, I use Pinterest because I can look. I mean, I can't, maybe I don't look any different, but I can look at find people anytime, 24 hours a day. There's someone
Your
that looks
finger gets
really
a good
good.
workout.
Exactly. You know, that's like strength training there. To scroll left and right, and sometimes, you know, up and down. I mean, that's a lot of coordination that has to be built through my fingers. I can at least talk about, like, you know, why I feel like I've had a really rough time adapting to any application. There's the boring answer of time management. There's of course, everybody who's a fitness nut is just like, yeah, you can make time. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't motivate me.
I mean, the thing is, you always have a certain amount of time every day.
Yes.
You know, you have to decide as a person what it is you want to fill that time with. So, I mean, some of it is not necessarily choice, like work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to work from 8 to 5, right? You know? Now, those other few hours that I have, what do I want to do with those? And for some people, going and spending some time at the gym is kind of their release, their, get out of it. And then there's other people who, they want to come home and relax and spend time with family or just by themselves or whatever, playing games. There we go.
Here's like my thing. My thing, I think, is I had a rough time because exercise to me now. This is coming from a guy who, when I was in high school, I did all the weightlifting training, body sculpting training, stuff like that. Pretty decent into sports, not the biggest, sports nut, but I was carrying a 6-pack and some pecs. I was looking pretty good for a person who was in high school, not too bad. For myself, I was happy.
Toot your own horn there, honey.
I was okay to look at myself in the mirror. That's what I'm saying. I was okay with that. Okay. Then. As I go into the military and working out and stuff like that. I think part of the military is where I kind of,
yeah, I agree.
It starts becoming this punishment to yourself where it was a reward before. Like, I would love going into the weight room and lifting weights and hanging out with the guys, stuff like that. That was cool. And then it becomes this. They flipped it on
job.
me. Yeah, exactly. And I already
not
work.
necessarily one you like.
Yeah, and I already work 8 hours. I mean, plus all the other work I do on my own.
Well, I mean, military job in general isn't, and it is not necessarily a Monday through Friday 8 to 5 job.
Yeah.
But you add on top. So, like you say, even if it was 40 hours a week, they make you get up. I don't know. I think our PT started at like 6 a.m. So I mean, I'm up at like 5:30. 5:30.
I did some of the 4 a.m. runs. 4 a.m. runs and stuff like that.
Well, we did those too. But
yeah.
For in general, PT I think started at 6 a.m. and then we'd do that for an hour or so, and then we'd all have to go back to our rooms or whatever, change, get dressed for the day, and then go off to work, and
yeah. So then like,
and we had to go to PT.
I think that's one line that's for people who are civilian, and I'm not trying to dog you or anything like that or belittle you, but it is one of those things like you just won't understand. There's something in that in your life you're like, I could tell you, dude, but you just won't understand. In a way, I could say the PT and how you must be there is one of those things that'll be hard to convey over this medium. But fast forward now, after feeling that way about that time management and everything, what I did, if I can throw a comparison, when I was working out when I was in high school, that was a period. That was a full-time slot in my day that was dedicated in the middle, not the first thing in the morning. That's the worst spot to get me. Not near the end of the day, and I would have been fine with that too. But it's one of those hours where this is the time to go exercise. You go in there, it's like 1 or 2 o'clock or something like that, or maybe it's like 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, and then you're working out with a bunch of people. Everybody's in a better mood, better spirit, and you're getting on with your day. And I'm more, if I could, I'd rather work out in like later in the afternoon, maybe like 11 10 in the morning, maybe at the early period, but not a 4 a.m., 6 a.m. 7 is still too much for me.
Growing up for me, you know, I didn't really do any of the like weightlifting or running or whatever. I mean, I did track, I think, for like a year, and that was about it. I was a good sprinter. But I
was
like
horrible at sprinting. You outran me.
Oh my God, I was great at sprinting.
You still outrun me.
Short distance. But for me, like, I mean, I rode horses and I showed horses and I did it competitively for a little bit, so that was where I got my exercise in. And anybody who's ridden horses, especially frequently and competitively or whatever, it is a workout. when I had the best calves, man, like...
I mean, it's one of those things like think about like, well, they just get ridden all day. It's not like you're in a car.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure about the guy in NASCAR who's like, man, you won't believe the workout we do in NASCAR.
You're on top of an animal that's moving, and you're moving with it. So, you're constantly, working your core.
There's no lumbar support.
Then, of course, when you want the horse to go, you squeeze your legs and, and so there you're getting that. Even with like, with your reins and your arms and stuff, I mean, they're constantly moving. You're not just like resting them there and chilling out. I mean, you have to be in control of the horse, and that's a very powerful animal.
Okay, throwing another question at you here, and okay, so let's say you could, after you were younger than when you was riding horses, but if you could just carry on that to your adulthood, do you think that would have been a just as good of a workout plan as going out and exercising? I'm trying to, fish out a yes from you there, but I mean, it doesn't seem like you're agreeing with me. But go ahead, tell me what you think.
I mean, it depends on the type of exercise. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't think I mean, part of the reason it was such a great exercise for me then was because I was also younger. I don't know if like it would work the same for me now that I'm a little older.
Well, I mean, I think it's better than it's like
your metabolism tends to think slow a bit.
I guess like for me, like here's the way I think about it. Like I now maybe if I could do something fun along with my exercise.
Oh my God, I mean, I would love to be able to continue doing that and whatever. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's more expensive than a gym, and I can't afford a gym, so
I can't afford a horse either. But here's my thing: I find exercise being more punishing now than rewarding like it used to be. But I think there was a couple differences. One, I had the freedom to pick like what exercise I was going to do.
Yeah.
When I was at the gym when I was younger, I had a better time when I was doing it, and the social environment I was there. It wasn't necessarily like, something that's like supportive. It was more of like, it was embedded. It was a theme. Everybody else is doing the same thing and they're all pumping each other up and pumping. You get pumped up because you're around these guys. And
and it's not like they're screaming at you like, military does.
And you actually see the results. Like you really why I like the weightlifting when it came to fitness more than anything is when I see people actually one of my side arguments there is, as human creatures, we decide to measure our appearance by standing on a scale.
Yeah.
So like, and I always thought that was kind of funny when I was in the weight gym. That's not exactly how you measure your appearance. You don't stand on a scale. Weights, your body weight isn't exactly all that important. It's about what you do with your body weight. Because you could gain 50 more pounds, but did you gain it in your belly? Did you gain it in your chest? Did you gain it in your thighs? Did you gain it here? So your body fluctuates all the time, and we didn't measure like fat content and all this other stuff. Eating healthy was definitely a theme in there, but from what our goal was getting stronger, getting bigger. The weight part wasn't as an important factor.
Yeah.
This rolls into why like now I have a hard time. When I pick up an app, it tells me to eat a cookie. The cookie costs this many points, and then I have to put each and every cookie in there. Because then I didn't have to worry about that back then. It didn't make sense, and my metabolism covered for that cookie, no matter what it was, or that cake, or those 3 cakes I ate with this side of pizza.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I used to eat so much worse when I was younger, and it wasn't a problem. But now it's like, So anyhow, yeah, I mean, it's certainly different. So I mean, I guess with the app, going back to apps,
Yeah.
it's just about finding the ones that work for you. Of course, that's hard because there's like a gazillion of them out there.
Part of me, I have a theory, but I don't want to explain it now. I want to get back to apps on you.
Okay.
So we already hit down what was probably one of the not so great apps you mentioned too. What were some that did you feel comfortable with suggesting? Maybe not your favorite, but one that you feel like, hey, I want to try something. I'm really good at, sticking to a plan. What can I do? There's someone out there who's thinking like, what can I try and maybe get some points off?
Well, I mean, for if you need something to tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, I started earlier this year the C2 5K. Couch to 5K is what it stands for.
So C2 5K.
Yeah, C and the number 2, number 5, and K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just try to remember that. So in case you guys want to really try this out. Okay. Not sponsored, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, so it when I'm putting it in or whatever, it tells me exactly what I need to do. I start at week 1, day 1. And I do exactly what it tells me to. When it tells me to walk, I walk. When it tells me to jog, I jog. And, so on and so forth. And, and I've learned to that, like when I first started doing it, I repeated weeks. Because there are times where it's like I would go to, I think the first time I went to week 3, I went, oh my God, you want me to jog for 3 minutes straight? What?
No. Let me tell you guys something too. Okay. Now, Laura is still the only one who uses this application.
Yeah.
But I was also experiencing it too. While she ran the application, I was running alongside with her.
Yeah.
And yes, it hurt. It hurt.
Yes.
And maybe it's just me. I'm just not a jogger. My pace is just a little bit slower when it comes to running. So at least my jog running. If I'm running, I can outrun you. But my jog run is a little bit slower. So as I'm following this woman who's already hurting, wheezing on, there's me in the background is bringing the bass wheeze. This. So this kind of picture you've seen our photos out there. This picture of this white woman being stalked by this heavy breathing black guy. And that's working out using the 5CK application. So, I can say it's really effective. And if we had caught some pictures, I'm pretty sure they've been very good for the season that's now Halloween approaching.
Yeah, I mean, it is rough. And I mean, when I did my very first week 1, day 1 of this, I think I figured out that I had not ran, well, since I got out of the military, and that had been 12 years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it'd been a long time. And so that was really interesting. My body went what are you doing to me?
I can say I now see the reverse effect when those old guys would say little snarky jokes and stuff like that to me.
Yeah, you're so young.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm in the other position, oh my goodness, my arm used to move straight up and down. Now it has to do this side wave thing. I gotta pop it back in place and then go up. And then oh yeah, boomer or whatever, and I'm oh, don't worry.
Yeah, no, I mean we're still young. I can't even imagine
Yeah, we are still young. I mean, I'm not full sore, but I can tell you when you hit that 3-0,
we're older than we were.
Yeah, you hit that right in that 3-0. It's a little different than that 2-0. It's a little different than that 2-0. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's just yeah. But either way, so yeah, that to me, I mean, not necessarily, it's hard to say it's my favorite app because it hurts so much. But I mean, for someone who hadn't ran in 12 years, it was really easy for me to follow, and I really enjoy it telling me what I need to do. Because there are just some of them out there that it doesn't necessarily tell you what.
Yeah, they're not. You know what? The last thing we want to do, and
give you a plan.
Exactly. I use a lot of different apps. Maybe not a fitness one, but I definitely know the market. The worst thing you have is an app that's just not intuitive enough, where it kind of feels like it's working along with you. So if you're running, you should look at your app, and there should be some kind of running animation, or there should be something that kind of is feels like it's a tandem with you. When it's just, if it's just like reading an article, why not just read an article or just buy a magazine like back in the day?
Like this app will tell me like, okay, you've done 2 of 4, jogging things or whatever, or
still get flashbacks of hearing your phone going, now running. Oh God. For 8 minutes.
No,
oh God.
We never did 8 minutes. I think the longest one I did was a 5-minute, but I'm working my way back up because during the summer months, because I run outside. I live in Florida, so when summer hit, I stopped running outside.
Wait. During the summertime, we did run, but we ran early in the morning.
Yeah, and then that wasn't even good enough anymore.
Yes, it's still hot in the morning. Yeah. It's still hot in the morning. I
think it was probably like late. No,
I do feel for some of you that are in the 40s, and I understand that. We're still in 90s.
Yeah, I think it was mid-June where I finally gave up even running in the morning. So I finally started again. No, it might have been July.
Yeah.
But either way, so I finally started running again. And so I've been doing it. This is my second week back to it, and I'm actually on week 3. I just skipped week 1 totally this time because I knew that it wouldn't be an issue.
Once you open the application, you'll definitely understand what she's talking about.
Yeah, and anyhow, so I'm doing that and following the program again. Yay!
Yeah, and okay, for myself, of course, again, I'm talking from the perspective of no apps, but then again, I am not against technology. One thing that I find interesting, something that I like getting involved with, at least what I was thinking was going to be a bigger thing to get involved. I think, and I'll explain. So let me explain. So VR was definitely going to be more of the ticket to start working out, exercising, and standing up. And as I've been playing around in VR, Beat Saber, everybody talks about Beat Saber. It is an excellent thing to try. There's rock climbing. There's standard regular social interaction that you suddenly feel like, it does work your muscles. You may be holding your arm out a bit longer as you're explaining things, because you start to realize that when you're socializing, and that's how much you don't socialize in real life, just how much arm and body movement you actually do, or how much jumping, or if you get excited and stuff like that.
You have these little weights in your hand.
Exactly, too. So it's a pseudo workout this is stuff that you are actively doing that you wouldn't actively be doing at this time. So, standing up, walking around for a prolonged period, waving your arms around. It sounds like really simple stuff, but think of how long you sit in front of your TV or computer, or you're just, at work at the desk. And that's why I wanted to add something that, one, it may not be a full-on exercise, but it'll be something active and a way to kind of keep me moving instead for just being this rock that's just growing sludge over time. Not to paint a graphic image for anybody. But that's what I've been kind of finding. So my application has been mostly like using the VR, and I want to expand on that to full body. Of course, money's involved with that, which is why we're not jumping in the gun into that. But I see like me going into full body because something I've said a few times on this podcast is that I was a hip hop dancer, did enjoy going out into clubs and stuff like that. And while much of that's not the same, there's still the avenue of doing it in VR and entertaining my friends I have there.
I wonder if they have like a dancing app.
I would like to see put straight digital VR dance battle. I would definitely love to jump into that. People can spin on their heads and show off they have wireless VR and stuff like that. That would be sick.
Yeah, probably start hearing some things crashing in the background if you do those kind of things, though. Actually,
that'll be the reason to watch. This coming soon. Rap dance battles. I got you. What? Oh no! so
anyhow, to put out a few other honorable mentions, I guess. So I about a little over a year ago, I joined Weight Watchers, or now known as WW, and they obviously have their own app that they use, which of course you have to pay for that, and that's why I'm not necessarily.
Hey, listen, good things cost money. It's okay.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, for me, for the most part, I try to find things that are cheap or free.
Yes, you're penny pinching to it. Never mind, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. That one though, it's worth it for me. I mean, I've lost 65 pounds, so it's
actively, so it's like you see the difference, like you really do. I'm a person on the outside, and she may not feel like she's like, oh, I still feel like this, but I'm seeing like there's the butt is coming back, like that, and it's all that he's got that shape, and then there's and then when she has anyway, I can really see the detail. I'm not trying to give you all the news, but I see everything.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it there because I feel like it's going to go worse from that point on.
Either way, so for me, that I track every day. And I mean, when I say every day, I mean every day. I've been tracking every day since I started last year.
I mean, I think if the WW app was a bit better or had a better social media presence, you would start having some followers. I mean, because she's consistent.
Well, I do actually have some.
There you go. But like literally, like
they have
every
their Connect app that's attached to, or Connect, which is their social media thing. I have, I think, like 30 followers. I'm not like extremely active.
So are you trying to say that people who are listening now could follow you on WW?
Sure.
And see your progress? I mean, I'm just not trying to promote anything WW application, Weight Watchers formerly known. But to follow you there as another social media app and see where you are progressing and where you want to go with this too. So, I just thought that was very interesting and something that was very nice of you to share with everybody.
Yeah. Anyhow, so with that, they have connections where they have their connections with a one called Aptiv, AAPTIV, and they do have like a walk jog thing, kind of like what I do with my C2 5K app. I've never tried it because I have my other one that I use, so that I like. But I did do a couple of their core stretching kind of videos on there and stuff. So, and I like it too. It's another one that like they tell you what to do during it. And so it's nice and easy to follow. And then they also have Headspace, and that one is a meditation sort of thing. And I've used that a couple times too. And so that's another one that they guide you through it and whatever. So it's good too. And on that note too, I've used a Down Dog before, which is
Down Dog.
It's a yoga app. And it's a good one too. I really enjoyed that. I'm not huge into yoga, so I didn't really continue with that one. But the app was a really great app, and I've recommended it to a few people who do yoga, and I have some friends who've used it now. So. Oh
yeah. Also, this is advice for other people out there. Let's say you don't understand how much free time you have because you don't have anything like kids or anything like that, or maybe you do, but you still find yourself with this free time because they're at school or something. Try something you haven't done before. You want to get into this area of okay. You want to. Well, I'll finish the thought real quick. Okay, like you're in this area where you want to try to lose some weight or do something new, or you want to try something. So try something different. Yoga's out there. There's a lot of this strength training, working with medicine balls. If you haven't done that before, try lifting weights. Yeah. Try an active sport or thing around there.
I mean, even look up like parks in your area, like one of the parks I go to, and I have to drive a little bit to get to it, but I love that park. And it has your weight only kind of workout equipment there. So you use your weight, but it's free.
Yeah.
We have other ones too. I actually found that like there are other parks that have even like actual fitness classes and stuff that are free, and they're just they're even more of a hike. And I'm like, nope, I'm not driving that much.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of programs out there, not just apps, but even like what you were saying, where if you don't have a lot of time, some of these apps have 5-minute workout.
One that I downloaded not too long ago, now I'm talking about like 2 days ago, but I'm trying it out because whatever, and I wanted something to start me off slow. And so it was called. There was like one called 100 push-ups, one called like
Yeah, I've
100
used these
sit-ups.
things before too.
Yeah, it's something simple, something easy, and I know how to do a push-up, I know how to do a sit-up, and you just kind of start doing these every now and then. The idea is that you do a little bit of these every day. You haven't done a push-up in like a couple of years. Well, how about trying every day for a full year, or as many as you can?
Start on your knees.
Yes, start on your knees, please. If you definitely don't know what you're doing, and it's going to be tough. And for some people, I've seen I don't know. I'm just going to put out there. I was always really good when it comes to push-ups and sit-ups, but then again, I started off with fitness really early and when I was young. But I've seen people struggle doing 2 push-ups or 2 or 3 push-ups.
Yeah, I was always good with push-ups. I mean, like, I always was at the top end of women for push-ups when I was in the military and stuff. Sit-ups, on the other hand, like, I barely would squeak by with passing that.
Yeah, I was awesome at both of those. Like, well, I'll get the finish out the thought I had, and that was well, if you're low at push-ups, what this does do is it's actually do like a set of like 2 push-ups, then stop. Then 2 push-ups, then stop, and it kind of builds you up so you can handle that. So don't look at it as like 100 push-ups. Yeah, don't do it. No, this is actually for those for you. If you can't do more, if you can do more, well, just skip that whole break session and just knock it out. And don't do any more. Just get yourself a nice little buffer. Going back to my sit-up game. There was this product back in the day where it has the ab wheel, if I remember it.
I still have one.
Yes, I love the ab wheel. I can still do the ab wheel. And the ab wheel is really effective. It is really effective.
If you use it correctly.
If you use it every day. And I always have a hard time with that. But the one thing that would be really hard is you would use the ab wheel. You start on your knees and you push the wheel out all the way, and like you're almost laying on the ground. And then you roll yourself back forward. Well, for most people, you just push it out as far as you can and bring it in. I could, on my knees, go all the way out, lay my stomach on the floor, and pull myself back up. Or go full on in a sit-up, in a push-up position on my toes, go all the way out and go all the way back up and all the way back out. And I remember when I was in high school and I had like everybody watching me because like, there's no way you can do this. I'm like, yeah, I can do 10 of these, no problem. And I'm all the way on the floor, up and down and whatever. And I got like, oh my God, he's still going. He's still going.
Well, man, it doesn't really surprise me because like, I remember there was a few times during dance battles and stuff, like, I mean, you would like do these flips and jumps and I'm like, what? And
is there anything else? That's my motivation to really get fit, because maybe I don't lose a pound, maybe I'll just be the chubby dancer, but a lot of that flexibility that I got was because I was doing stuff like that, abs and a lot of calisthenics, non-work weights. So I got which made me get to learn how to balance my body in different positions. I want to do a hand pose on the side after dropping on the floor and some cool freeze. And well, you gotta get really good at knowing how your body or how your weight can land on certain angles. And that's another something else for anybody out there. Like, okay, I don't have time to go to a gym. Calisthenics is a excellent way. And if anything, which you'll get there more so than weights, that I feel, is that you'll get this incredible balance. Like you want to have that hop to your step, that ability to just like, just move with grace. Calisthenics is definitely there. So it's not just your push-ups, your sit-ups, just like doing push-ups. So then you can move on one arm, or you can move to the left, move to the right. And then your rhythm when you're walking around, you're sliding, or just having actual balance when you're just running up and down stairs. You want to feel less clumsy? Do calisthenics. I don't think enough people talk about that, but that's one of like the hidden benefits like of using calisthenics. And there you go, a little knowledge from me to you. I highly promote calisthenics, and maybe I should start preaching, doing what I'm preaching.
Yeah,
a little bit more often. But I don't know. I feel like I need that motivation.
It's easier
back.
Said than done.
It is.
I've tried through the years so many different things, and I mean, I've even tried going to Weight Watchers before, but I never really. I would try their like free trial, and then I think I only tried their free trial once, and that was it. But this time it actually like stuck. And so I'm continuing with the program, and I've hit a little bit of a brick wall, but it's not the first time in this thing that I've done.
You're gonna hit brick walls. This thing that you're riding on is called life.
Yeah.
You'll hit brick walls with many different things. The last one that we didn't get to put the podcast on was literally talking about vaping and a lot of discussion that's about that. And so the computer decided to eat itself up. But it's something that I fall back on and pick back up and fall back on with my smoking. And that's how life works. I quit like so many times, and I finally found a product that works. And now I'm like hoping that it stays legal enough for me to actually get off of vaping. That is my goal eventually, is to not need these products anymore, which sounds crazy, but still trying to lower my nicotine levels each time I use a juice. My one advice that I wish I could have released with the last podcast, and I'll just shove it in here, stay the hell away from Juuls. I mean, this is a person who's actively says, yes, use vaping to get yourself off, or just, be healthier if you're just going to continue vaping for the rest of your life, but stay the hell away from Juul. For kids who out there, one thing that is very popular is the Juul product, which is a horrible gateway. I found myself, I'm just going to put this story out there, I found myself getting re-addicted to Juul over cigarettes, and which was highly expensive versus the vaping products, which is already its own expense. So that is the problem there. When people were talking about the vaping and how troubling it is, yes, that it's highly addictive, and I do think some stronger regulation, or just I wish Juul didn't exist. I'm just saying that it is tasty, it is great, it's an awesome experience. But the fact that it really almost showed me back to the point of being addicted again and pushing me so further back that I need to try higher nicotine levels to get myself off of Juul, to get myself back on track, is something to be remarked. And these are what kids are starting off on. Yeah,
and non-smokers,
Yeah.
I mean, vaping really, it's a great tool for those who are hardcore cigarette smokers. But if you've never smoked before, it's not a good idea. I'm coming
off from smoking from 10 years in the game, and I finally found some success with this. So these are products that's meant for me, not for the youngins.
You've been vaping now for 2 years?
Yeah. So I almost wish that if they had to be young and smoke, that they were using the big giant tanks that are using 6 nicotine, even though I still don't want to say that. But it is a fact that it is still better than using Juul. The best is just never using it at all, never smoking, and literally just finding a better way. It's not, but I don't want to make this into a vaping one. That was all I want to say about that. Let's get back to these apps here, okay? So let's say that in this fictional world that I had enough time and you had enough time to sit down and make the world's best application for fitness. Something that would be awesome, that we think that can work for as many people as possible, or maybe just a few people because we hate some people or something. I don't know. But I want to see if we can put some things in there, something that is a must-have that should be a part of this. Or if you're a developer who's listening in, or maybe you know a developer and you want to hand this over, this will be a good time to just send them this way. So what is 3 things? What 3 things do you think that they would need? And maybe we can add more later on.
Well, I think having, something that has a plan, that, day 1, week 1, day 1, you do this, week 1, day 2, you do this kind of thing, and a
guide.
Yeah. And while I love my running app, it would be nice if it offered stretches before I run into its what it tells me to do, and stretches after I run. And maybe even things, other exercises I can do, because it has you run 3 days a week. So what other things can I do the rest of the week that isn't running, but would help me with my running? Other, whether are the push-ups and sit-ups is it. Mm-hmm. But I have to have multiple apps. And no one app has it all. So there's running, then there's another one for sit-ups, another one for push-ups, another one for weights. Or they have okay, you can do 15 minutes of this, but not, okay, I want to do, maybe personalized program.
Or maybe say what you have. you can actually tell the app, okay, I have dumbbells, I have a workbench, I have a track that's about 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
And you can put stuff like that. Or you can say, well, I have a small apartment in here in New York, very small, that's overly priced. And I have anything else, but I do have like 2 hours in my day that I can dedicate to this. What can you do? How can you help me? Please help. And,
Yeah.
you know,
and a personalized plan. That's what I said. Like, you know, I mean, like something I can put my info in and my goals, and it can then generate, okay, week 1, day 1, this is what you do, and, you know, yada, 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 whatever. You know, and so, yeah.
You know, here's one thing I would like to add on there for the perfect app is I would like to have some real gaming attached to it. So let's say like there's the VR and stuff like that I've been talking about a lot. Well, VR is not the only thing, and I don't think it will work well with everybody's mobile phone. But you have sound, you have, you know, your ears and stuff like that. And yes, well, most apps display music. Why not have like some real gaming in there? As you're running, you have like this music that picks up or something like that, and that maybe makes you run faster. It doesn't have to tell you now run faster. You just feel like the music starts dun 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 dun, and all of a sudden like, why am I running faster? So it kind of tricks you into acting a certain way. Gaming does that. It has like special functions or special areas or levels that make you start acting a certain way. Response. When there's only one guy you're shooting in a shooting game every once in a while, you're taking it slow. All of a sudden there's 12 out of nowhere. All of a sudden your blood is pumping and it's rapidly fast. So using like sound quips or something like that, or even having it to where like, you know, it has some motion detection. It can tell you're running faster on your own, and you start hearing a crowd cheering or something like that. So I would think outside the box. There's a way to add some of this gameplay stuff into your everyday workout too, and that makes you push yourself harder without even thinking about it. Do you have one?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess like with my WW app, you know, they've incorporated rewards into it, and it's such a big thing for, you know, I mean, companies to do these days. But it really does, it works. Like, I like rewards, especially ones I don't have to pay for. You know, so like, and then I can use them to get something else or, you know, whatever. So, you know, I think that's good.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, sometimes they offer, as the reward, you can get like a free ticket to like some sort of marathon. None of them have so far been
I see. Yeah.
None of them so far have been in my
the
area.
Reward is a special, you know, limited thing,
like to get
workout.
into I mean, because the thing is, like, I've looked up, like, oh, okay, well, like, maybe I could try doing like a 5K or something like that. They are not cheap. Like, I can't do this. Like,
I don't like running so much. I like to pay for it.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it'd be nice to maybe offer that as a reward, you know, I mean.
Well, here's something else on the much more cost efficient side for an app developer to think about. Okay, so there's this game called Pokemon Go.
Oh, yes.
That people play.
I was going to mention it earlier when you were talking about this. Because, I mean, there were people who lost a lot of weight doing that.
Wait, but the game is built as a game, not as a fitness thing.
Of course,
but
it had its problems.
But it's worked better. Here's something you can simply do for a fitness app. You know, when you're out, especially for runners, when you're out and you're running your first mile or something like that. How about this?
Yeah. You just started and you're already doing a mile.
Okay. Well, we'll lower down to meters or something. I don't know, but you're about to run or something like that. How about this? Before you start running, it allows you to take a picture of where you are, and then it puts like a little GIF for a little image of like, you know, something dragons or start like actual, like you're about to run on a race. Then you run. And then all of a sudden you're in your headphones and you hear, yeah, you open up your phone. There's the camera thing that opens up, and you get to, you know, you turn around and you can see that you just passed the 1 mile marker, and then you can continue on. And then as you get closer to your next mile, you hear you cheering again. Yeah. This would tell people to run all the way, keep going till you hear that next yeah. And that makes you think, take the time out your head, take the, you know, because a lot of people are like running for 5 minutes. That who knows how far we were running when we were doing the 5 minute run, the 8 minute, you know, not 8 minute run.
Yeah.
But we were running for quite a while, and I'm pretty sure we got some miles in, but we never knew when we crossed it. That's a way just to kind of change up the pace to getting better in distance. And
Yeah, the only reason we didn't know how far we went is because I'd have to pay for that part of the app, and I wasn't doing that.
so a competition needs to offer it for free and then charge for ads.
Well, yeah, they did
or
it
something
once,
like that.
one day, last week actually, where it was like, oh, do you want to know how far you your distance or whatever? Just watch this video ad. And like, okay, yeah. So I watched the video ad, and then at the end of it, it actually told me how far I had run, and I'm like, yes, please. This needs to be more of a thing, because I don't want to pay for it. But if you have advertisers, I'll watch something so that you get paid, because I want you to get paid too as an app developer.
Yeah, at least control it. I mean, I'm not sure how much money people are making off of people who are running, but I would think you would make a little bit more if you gave that like for everybody's first mile. You start crossing that line, people start getting used to it, and they know they can't have it. Well, now they had a taste of what it's like. And if I'm getting there, if I can say as a person who's like, if I'm running this, I'm hitting that 1 mile, 2 mile, but I don't know it, I'm gonna pay. And you're gonna get your money, and you're gonna be able to expand your business on there. Add some more things like, I don't know, sneakers or something like that. You have to figure out what you want to do with that part. But there's definitely some ideas that are not being used now that could be definitely used. Okay, we actually only covered 2 ideas. So, can we think of a third between you and me for our big brains? Oh, I already thought of one.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right. One, social media. And I don't mean the app itself is a social media platform. While I think that's great that WW has one and you actually have some followers, that's actually really nice. I would like to have that work in a way that would incorporate some of the other ones. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a Facebook share and every other app has.
I mean, if you follow our Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, you would have seen I've shared a few of my C2 5K things.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there we go.
Yeah, or maybe
so
just
they've done it.
Little talk stuff like that. Those are good ideas. So some way you can kind of incorporate that more. Or here's what I think the dream would be: that you could incorporate, let's say, like you want to put your progress on there, like a little journal as you start off your first week. Tell your app that, and then all of a sudden it opens up a little video platform and it sends it off to Facebook, to Twitter, to YouTube, or whatever. And then you can start getting followers that are watching you follow your way, and maybe also, who knows, want to join you in your run or just be inspired by what you do. This would hopefully help encourage other people, and I'm pretty sure it'll be rewarding yourself just to see that, oh my god, 65 people said, watched my run for some reason. Or watched me talk about my run or whatever, and how much it sucked, and I was like, wiping my face and sweating.
I know. I always feel like when I'm running, I'm like looking like that crazy person or something. Like,
I look like a person that scares people, I think, in general. So
you are very scary.
I am not. I am a very friendly guy.
No, I don't know
I'm
what you're talking about.
Goofy goober. Well, okay, so. With that said, apps, try some out. I haven't tried many out. My baby apps are 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. But if you really need a level 1, I can highly recommend those. See how long you can stick with it. Can you do it for a week? Can you do it for 2 weeks? And if you manage to do it 3, all right. How far can you take it?
You don't need to do it every day. Just like at my WW meetings or whatever, something that resonates with me is just start with one day. Like, 1 day.
You live your day you live your life that way, 1 day at a time.
Yeah, so, and yeah, there we go.
And I'll say, like, when you first start out, it's going to be hard, like, to find out when you put it in.
Your body will probably scream at you the next day.
Yeah, but after you do it, you'll start thinking of how you can fit it in, where can you squeeze this in, and how can you make this fun. All right, we're kind of rolling on to the end of this. And so, with that said, as I've said before, I do a second podcast for Xavier TV on Twitch every Wednesday. I try to do every Wednesday. They are much different than this platform. It's more on that raunchy side, but I have a lot of other people that kind of jump in. And if you don't mind downloading a free game that your decently powered computer can handle, you can join me on there, Xavier TV. My link to my
with a Z
is out there. You can add me as friend. And if you're on a Wednesday, late night after 10 o'clock, feel free to join in on me. You can be heard by anybody else, or just want to be on Twitch and say hello, what's going on. Yeah, that's for you. That's for you, and I would love to hear from you. And as we kind of roll out, I still want to stay out there. I still have my website up there representing our one Patreon guy who is a champion, and he's still up there representing. Maybe you want to be the next one. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join in and help us out here, the It Couple, we'd be more than appreciative. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. And until next time, take it easy.
See ya!